bum, 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 bum.
That's the sound your water makes?
Han Solo. Han Solo. Today we watched Han Solo. Hello, welcome to the Takis, everybody. Today we watched Han Solo.
I don't think the movie's called Han Solo.
Han Solo? Oh, you're right.
It's called...
It's just Solo.
Solo.
Which isn't even his real name.
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert. Solo was given to him by
some rando.
Not very creative recruitment officer for the Empire.
It's an assigned name.
He had a list of them right there, and he was like, Tim, Smith, Solo.
It's funny because that moment reminded me of when the Emperor chose Darth Vader in the prequels.
Darth Vader.
It totally sounded like he just pulled it out of his butt. He's like, what should be my name? Well, I'm Darth Sidious, and we already had Darth Maul. Darth Vader?
Sure, why not?
Vader. Sure, why not?
Anyways, yes, we went to the theater today, and we had a good time. This was a movie I've been looking forward to for some time, mostly because I wanted to see the summation of this 2-year-long drama that we've been following very closely. We have this film originally directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who were canned.
Yeah. Makers of the Lego movie.
Yes, and 21 Jump Street.
And 21 Jump
They
Street.
were like 75% done shooting this movie when they were fired for creative differences.
That's insane.
Yeah.
75%.
How do you get that far? How do you get that far into a movie? How does it take that long for someone to say this is not working at all?
Yeah.
You know, it's like Kathleen Kennedy said, "Show me dailies in about 100 days."
Yeah, right.
You know.
I don't know if I'm misremembering or not, but wasn't it that they would shoot Lawrence Kasdan's script, and then once they got that, they would then improvise forever, bumping the mic, and then they would cut their own movie out of that and show.
From what I've been able to gather, you know, I don't know how much of this is hearsay and rumor mill and gossip, but the legend is that they had played it very fast and loose with Lawrence Kasdan's script, and Kasdan specifically was the voice of dissent, saying that he hated what they were doing to his script. A lot of improvisation and a lot more humor than I think people are normally comfortable with in a Star Wars movie, and especially in one where the character had already been established, right?
Right.
One person who wrote about it, who was supposedly close to the scenario, said that Han Solo was coming across more like Ace Ventura.
That's insane.
So, you know, and if that's true, then Kathleen Kennedy did the right thing, really,
maybe.
right? Maybe
Yeah.
the wrong thing was just hiring that sort of director, you know, duo in the first place.
I don't know what they expected hiring comedians fresh off of hit
21 Jump
comedies,
Street, yeah.
you know, who have a known style of, you know, improvising and making these outlandish things,
Right.
to do their relatively dramatic, you know, Han Solo
Right.
script.
Well, it seems Disney wants to have the trendy director name attached to their stuff, but they don't want the trendy director to actually do anything.
Yeah.
Right? You know,
Right.
they still want complete control over it.
Yeah.
You know, so same thing with Ant-Man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright, yeah. Which is a weird choice too.
Yeah.
That is a weird
was,
choice for a
yeah.
Marvel movie. I mean, I kind of want to see that movie,
I think that would actually work really well.
but not necessarily in the MCU.
You're right. Yeah. He
Yeah.
wants to do his own thing that's self-contained rather than have to.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's shift to the movie. That's the prologue going into this. It's like how this is either going to be a train wreck or an absolute miracle.
Right.
And I'm leaning more towards miracle.
Leaning more
I'm like,
towards, yeah.
I think they pulled this off.
Yeah.
Maybe this is partially padded by the fact that my expectations were so low to begin with. but I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. Yeah.
My friend posted on Facebook, Solo, 7.5 out of 10. And I was like, okay. And I'd say that pretty much summarizes my view too.
Well, you've heard it here on the Talkies. We'll see you next week.
Peace. Let's talk about this first 5 minutes real quick.
Yes. Okay. So this is weird.
Just real quick.
It doesn't even have to be real quick. We can spend the whole episode talking about the first 5 minutes because this movie had some like beautiful set pieces.
Yeah.
It had some amazing action sequences. People were really concerned about the acting, and I thought it was all pretty much fine.
It was great. Who was the main character?
His name is Alden Eichen.
I remember so like
IMDb.
when we had been watching the trailers, we were like, oh,
He
man,
looked
he's
really
not,
stilted.
Yeah.
The trailer did not do this movie justice
Not at all.
whatsoever.
No.
It
he was
is
great in this.
Yeah.
He was
markedly better than the trailer makes it look like. So the acting was fine. But when this movie began, for the first 5 minutes, I was very convinced that we had wandered into an absolute train wreck of a movie.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
It started off so bad.
Really bad. Yeah. It was so like what I took from it was like as we're going into it, it starts off with I think the first shot is him hot wiring in a car, right?
Yes.
Or hot wiring the hover, whatever. And it was weird because they started off stylistically where he goes, you hear the sound effect first, then you see what he's doing, then it
Spark.
yeah, but then it never cuts back to a master. It goes to a close-up of him, then a close-up of the lights turning on, and then him taking off. And then I think they have a backup shot where they see the people chasing him. They never ever revealed like this is a situation. They were just bits and pieces. And I don't believe that was on purpose. I believe what that was an editing technique to get away from whatever they had previously done, right? So this is probably a scene that took place.
I wonder if the whole beginning was patched together
I feel like
to
it
make
was,
up
yeah.
for a beginning that they scrapped.
Yeah, so like the editing in the first
Well,
5 minutes was weird.
And every line they said was this
Yeah.
extremely on-the-nose exposition.
Yeah.
Like they might as well have been saying, I'm young Han Solo. I've been living in a slum for this long, and I'm in the middle of a heist. We need to take our goods from this heist to this person who
Yeah.
we hope will give us lots of money. And then they had like background chatter from other characters to further develop the setting.
Right.
Right, so like these like kids who are like these kids who had like stolen some jewels, and they're like, I can't wait to bring this to what's her name, Lady Proxima.
Lady Proxima.
She's I'm going to bring this to Lady Proxima and get lots of money.
Right.
You know, it's like yes, people say that to each other. Really.
I feel like if this was the version of that Lord Miller did first, that it probably would have played off better, given their context.
If it was filled with more like slapstick humor,
yeah, more
light
wacky
music.
stuff. Yeah.
I thought it was interesting how Alden Arshur.
His name, I got it in front of me now. Alden Ehrenreich.
Ehrenreich.
All right.
His
Alden Ehrenreich.
performance in the beginning of the film was significantly worse than later on. It was very strange.
Emilia Clarke.
Yeah, even she was
She's fantastic. Like she's a great actress,
Yeah.
and she was very fake in that opening sequence. I
Yeah.
mean, it was bad on all accounts.
Yeah, it was really weird. They had what I thought was interesting, where they had like almost written in jokes, or it seemed like jokes, where there were like like I talked to you guys about this. There was a guy who had fallen down somewhere as them other guys were going off and like beating him up and saying, Lady Proxima will hear about this or whatever. And it looks like the kind of scene that your hero jumps into and saves the guy, and instead our hero walks away and then he goes to this other place where this kid's getting bullied and then skips that.
So it's sort of like a weird moment where in a comedy you would point it out and be like,
Right.
look at this awkward thing that's happening.
Yeah, but they didn't have.
They didn't.
No, they didn't have like the sound effects that they usually have during those types of parts, where like the music would drop out, and you're like, and it brings focus to that. But no, this one just kind of like made it into just a straight drama, and you're like, what is happening? Like, it was really weird.
Now, so I had anticipated there would be that kind of dissonance throughout the whole movie, because of they brought in Ron Howard to finish the movie, and switching directors halfway through would be a huge disruption. But I only sensed it in the beginning, that first 5 minutes.
Yeah, and I mean, it kind of actually makes sense retrospectively. I mean, because if you're gonna reshoot 70% of your movie, it's gonna be a different movie entirely. It's gonna be more focused on whatever you want it to be. You're basically making the movie from scratch. So I wonder if most of the remnants of what Phil Lord and Chris Miller did was in the beginning chunk of the film that they just kind of figured they could like cut to hell to make it work.
Because the rest of the movie very much did feel like a Ron Howard movie.
Yeah, no, it was quite different from the beginning. Yeah,
and the movie is good.
Yeah,
like it's a good movie,
and it's just plain. Yeah, it does.
Should we go ahead and say the controversial part that we've all pretty much have a consensus on?
Yeah, it's the best of the new Star Wars movies.
I agree.
Yeah, I would agree too.
Yeah,
I'd say better than
Force Awakens.
Jeez, better than Force Awakens.
Yeah.
That feels weird to say.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad to say. I'm almost embarrassed. But honestly, from the moment that he begins as like a foot soldier with the Empire forward was spectacular. I really loved, like I could have seen a whole movie about these grunt Empire building foot soldiers. Everything we've always seen are stormtroopers,
right?
But they're like the elite, right?
Yeah.
So they have these like dirty, cheap armor,
right?
Grunts on the ground fighting in the
Gangsters,
trenches in a total like it almost felt like the Korean War, sort of style of warfare.
Yeah, trench warfare.
And that was awesome.
That was pretty
I
crazy,
really liked that.
It actually felt a lot more dark. That sequence felt more dark and gritty than all of Rogue One.
It did. Yeah,
it did.
Yeah. Which was like totally pitched as the dark and gritty Star Wars movie, and really isn't.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is funny.
Yeah. Something very visceral about that whole sequence.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because it is Ron Howard and he's made those movies.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Ron Howard was pretty much the perfect choice for this very specific situation of starting over,
a cleanup man.
Yeah, figuring out, being a competent director who can efficiently get quality material and approach a screenplay really well,
and deliver someone else's vision.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So they were smart. They should have done that in the first place. Like
honestly, I don't know why a Star Wars or MCU would ever feel like they have to go find name directors.
Right.
They need like company men.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They don't need the auteur.
Yeah.
They don't need the artistic touch.
No.
Right.
They need someone to deliver on time and on budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is weird. It's kind of getting sidetracked a little bit that Rian Johnson did what he did.
It is weird, and by everyone else's account, it worked tremendously, and they're going to give him a whole trilogy to do now.
I don't understand.
I don't either. I still stand by it. That is a bad movie.
Star Wars Episode 8, yeah.
Yeah.
It's gross.
That is a terrible movie.
Yeah. It's bad.
Yeah.
Funny tie-in to Episode 8 in this film was that they gave all this emotional weight to those gold dice that Han Solo has.
They did.
It was really funny because, who has it at the beginning of the movie? It's is it Rey that has it in Episode 8?
In 8?
Yeah. In Last Jedi.
They had it in the ship, so yeah, I guess Rey did, yeah.
I think Rey has them.
Yeah.
She gives them to Luke, and Luke gives them to Leia.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like Luke saying, hey, here's something to remember Han by, and it's like, oh, it's his gold dice, right? Like the audience should all have this significant attachment to those are from the Millennium Falcon.
I thought it was weird because I've never even
No one has ever noticed those except for total geeks because they're just a piece of set dressing on the Millennium Falcon, but now they're part of the canon.
Right, now they are, yeah.
Yeah. I like how they introduced Chewie.
I did too.
Yeah,
I really
and
liked that.
That was one of those moments that I knew they could really get wrong, and I thought that went really, really well.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool to have him.
He was basically being fed to him.
Yeah.
It was the Rancor scene.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That was neat.
Yeah, overall, I really enjoyed a lot of this movie. I think I still could never fully buy into Alden Arkdupstip.
Alden.
No, I think you got it.
Aaron Reich.
Alden
Dip.
is
Aaron Reich.
Dip.
Eldon Ehrenreich. Alden Ehrenreich.
Alden
Ehrenreich. Alden Ehrenreich.
Laurel.
Alden Ehrenreich.
Laurel.
Yammy.
I could never buy into him fully being like the Han Solo.
Yeah.
Though I don't think his performance was necessarily bad.
No.
Like if he was like a different named character.
Right.
No,
it
I
would've
think
been awesome.
I think they made a wise choice in saying, let's be Alden Ehrenreich's version of Han Solo, as opposed to you be Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Like I think there's some things that are like, hey, stand a little bit like this, do this sort of thing, mess your hair like that, the way that Han Solo did, but we're not going to try to. Donald Glover does the same thing.
Yeah, he does.
In that he doesn't try to mimic the cadence of Billy D. Williams or anything.
Although I think he could.
I'm sure he could have.
Yeah.
But I think that with this film, that whoever was giving the direction at the time basically said, this is your version of this person.
Right.
Which I think was probably smart for getting a more genuine performance.
I think so.
As opposed to mimicking.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
I'd rather they just not do that in the first place, though. I'd rather them just like not make a movie hinging on
a character,
right? Han Solo, or rather them do like basically Rogue One. Like if Rogue One had the quality of these characters, it would be awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's a lot about the thing I love about Rogue One more than really any other Star Wars movie of the new era.
New Star Wars
is that they decided to make an original story.
Yeah.
Yeah. The story is great. Yeah. It's them getting into the characters, and I think that's what screws them up a lot, because like not even in the main sequence Star Wars like 7 and 8 do they get any of these characters like really properly, a good character arc going. Like
Well, they started them.
Yeah, that's true.
With Force Awakens,
Yeah.
everyone began an arc. They all began an arc, and then Rian Johnson decided in 8 to just stop with them all in their progress and start over.
Luke had most of the arc, I think, in 8.
Yeah, but he had already completed
That's
his
what's
arc
weird, yeah.
over 3 previous movies.
You know what? Okay,
Yeah.
so actually, what's his name has the best one?
Kylo.
Kylo, yeah, Kylo.
Kylo's got the best arc going on.
Yeah, at the moment.
Yeah, and his is already seeming to come to an end.
Yeah, so like, so
he's like reached like a plateau where he's in control of the entire First Order, and his only choices are to win or lose, basically.
Yeah.
Great cast. I really liked Woody. Woody Harrelson did a great job. I liked his character a lot. Paul Bettany.
Woody
was
Harrelson.
really good.
Who was he?
He was the
The old gangster.
yeah.
I didn't buy into his character like for one moment. Like the entire movie.
Beckett.
The entire movie, I thought, oh, that's Woody Harrelson, not that's Beckett.
Well, he is one of those actors who only plays himself in every. There's a lot of people like that.
I never bought him as a gangster or as a outlaw.
I've seen him play lots of outlaws.
I mean, maybe he has, but he's.
I think he was
like.
fine.
I really like him in. Was it True Detective?
Yeah,
He's in. Like, I like that character totally. Like, he plays that well. But
What was your problem with it? I thought he did great.
no, I felt like he didn't have the presence of an outlaw, like someone who's done this for years and years and years. That's what I would assume anyway. He felt like he was just kind of a shell, is what it felt like.
I thought that was exactly the point.
To be a shell, not to be like a
This is a
interesting character.
A shell, as in that he's like is like empty inside from
didn't.
his life.
No, I didn't. I didn't feel that way. I felt like
that,
he was.
I
the
totally
actor.
felt that. I felt very. I genuinely felt like he had been worn down by all this time of existing in this world, and that he genuinely wanted to prevent anyone else from getting sucked into this world.
That's what I had hoped to feel from it, but I never did.
Yeah, well, it's a deficiency on your your part, I think.
Again, we come to the whole D's a robot. He doesn't feel emotions.
Yeah, you're just emotionally stunted is what I would say. That's how I'd put it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle on that one. I thought he was okay.
It's because you're half robot.
How about and then Thandie Newton?
She was
as well. I always like her.
Oh, she was good.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I like her a lot.
She was kind of like in and out.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked her, her character.
I kind of wish she didn't do what she did when she dies. She kind of just kills herself.
Yeah.
But I feel like she could have not done that. And
she could have.
Would have fine. Like if she didn't detonate it, it would have been fine.
She just let the train go over the bridge.
Yeah.
Like there was no real reason for her to kill herself.
You're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Chewbacca could have decoupled the car.
Yeah.
They could have taken the car.
It would have been fine.
They did not have to blow that bridge.
She could have ran closer to the, away. Or even, like, if it comes to it, she could have jumped off the bridge, blown it up. They could have flown down, picked her up, wham! And it would have been very epic. Here's another thought.
Okay.
They kind of set this up to kind of imply that they're going to do more films.
Yes.
But there's only so much more you can do before you get into
you run into
A
the
New
other
Hope.
story. Like, yeah. So what? How many years before A New Hope is this?
I don't know. And then how many? I was waiting for the moment when Han Solo kind of like transforms to look like Harrison Ford, but they never explained that.
Wait, you?
Now he gets like.
Are you making a joke here?
He gets like Force lightning fried.
Yeah.
And it melts his face like the Emperor, and he comes out and he looks like Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
That's
Chewbacca
good.
looks the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but he's 190.
That'd be hilarious if he looked different. Like younger version Chewbacca actually looks totally different.
Dude, they did that with Yoda when Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, was first released.
Yeah.
You can't even find this anymore unless you have an original VHS copy. But in the first version of Phantom Menace, Yoda was, again, a puppet. This is before they did digital Yoda, which came in Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. And Puppet Yoda was de-aged to look like a younger version of Yoda. And so he had more hair on his head. He had like 2 curly locks of hair.
Really?
Yeah. And he looked really bad.
That's Phantom Menace, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looked really bad.
You've seen that?
And everyone knew he looked really bad. So when they went back and remastered them,
That's hilarious.
they replaced him with a CGI Yoda that matches the rest of the...
I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, we gotta look it up afterwards. It's like distractingly weird how Yoda looked in the Phantom Menace.
He looks a lot more. It's funny. He looks a lot more cartoony.
Interesting.
He looks worse than Yoda looked in Empire Strikes Back, right? When it was old school puppetry,
Right, yeah.
looked good, and this Yoda looked like obnoxiously wrong.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this movie has some really really great sequences, like a lot of cool heists. I'm always
love
a sucker
the train
for
heist.
heists.
The train heist bit was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And then it reached a point towards like after the Kessler run where I felt like, okay, that was the climax of the movie.
And there was too much more movie left.
Then there was
I felt
there
the
was
same
a
way.
lot of movie
I kind of
left.
wanted it to be over.
Yeah.
I'm like, roll credits.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I fell asleep during the Kessel Run, so I
Yes,
woke
you
up.
missed the best part of the
Yes,
movie.
yeah.
So I woke up during the second climax,
Yeah, so you missed the
which
the
was
true
the whole
climax.
I like the Crimson. What is it called?
Raiders.
The
Crimson
Scarlet Letters.
Scarlet
Yeah,
Letters.
Scarlet Letters. The
Anyway, the evil guy.
Empire.
I liked the fight with him. I felt genuine. I always felt like actual stakes, even though
Paul
nobody's...
Bettamy's awesome. I
No.
love him.
I loved that whole... I loved his
He
character.
always is like creepy, even
Yeah.
when he's supposed to be a good guy. Vision is creepy.
Vision is creepy.
He's not right. He's not
funny.
right.
I felt like his scars kept changing throughout the whole...
Oh, that's
It did look that way.
I didn't notice
I thought
that.
it was some kind of alien.
I thought they were
I
doing
thought they were going to do some kind of
Right.
shape-shifting face thing.
I thought they were doing something with it.
You know what I bet they did? I bet they shot his scenes twice.
Yeah.
You know, I bet he was part of the callbacks after when they did their reshoots.
Oh, maybe.
And they didn't match the makeup
continuity
perfectly.
got all messed up.
Because it did. I totally felt like his scars moved.
That's hilarious. That's
How
funny.
do you get scars that way?
You have to like take your skin and you just
Oh, it did look like stretch marks. You're right. It totally looked like he used to
Just stretch marks.
He just he got the bariatric surgery.
He got
Yeah.
bitten by one of those
Right.
7-toothed dogs.
He did Atkins.
He did Atkins.
Yeah,
That's
he
what
used to
happened
be
Steve.
like 700 pounds, and he did Atkins, but he still has the stretch marks on his
on his
face.
face because you know when you're overweight, all the fat goes to your face.
In your face.
So,
On that planet, Paul Bettamy's
Oh.
like freakish skinny too.
So
Um,
I'm going to talk about a really dumb plot hole
here we go again.
because you know how D talks about plot holes all the time.
but then we decide they don't matter.
They
and,
don't. Yeah,
Well, let's hear
this
it.
is why I don't care about it. This is the stupidest thing.
Do
It's-
it. Be stupid.
It is dumb. You know, so when
YOLO.
they got the not hyper fuel but the stuff to make hyper fuel.
Yeah, what did they call
the raw?
Yeah,
the raw
the
stuff
raw
that
stuff.
hadn't been refined yet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Even
unrefined
after it
blue
was
stuff.
refined, they didn't call it hyperfuel, by the way.
So they
Bringing
got
that
the
up later.
so they got the blue stuff.
Yeah.
And he gives it to the guy. He's like, "Hand me one of the vials." And he's like, "Are you sure it's dangerous?" And then he goes over there, and I knew what he was going to do is just go, just
Yeah,
break it,
yeah.
to
course.
show that
Of course, it actually was real.
right. And so I'm like, so that's why he didn't break it, right?
Yeah.
Because had it been,
But he was still a little rough with it, and I was like,
Maybe a little rough,
That
yeah.
was the real thing.
That's what I'm
Why
saying.
didn't they blow up?
Like if he, like if Solo really thought that he was gonna,
No, yeah, they played fast and loose with
it
the
was
whole
it was a little
double,
much, yeah.
double.
It was double crossed.
Yeah, the whole double crossing was a little contrived.
It
You're
was
like,
a little, yeah. It was a little weird.
yeah, you couldn't foresee this, but you foresaw that
Oh,
you
yeah.
might have to foresee
Right.
Their explanations were just callbacks to lines previously said.
because you said.
You said this, so I
You
messed
should
up.
have
Like,
learned. I did learn because you also said this.
I wish I could like get through like life and do deals by calling back to what people said.
I liked the short little sequence where Han shoots first,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
which was I'm like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
see
that
what
was
you did
like,
there.
yeah, that was for everyone. All the Han shot first people
Yeah.
in the audience went, oh, yeah, that's the real Han Solo. The real Han Solo shoots first.
That's the real one.
Harrison
I think
Ford's
they
got
just-
nothing on him.
I think they just canonized that.
And then they have to bring back
did
that
shoot. They're gonna-
claymation chessboard.
I wonder if that'd be so funny if they changed A New Hope again, so that he goes back to shooting first. The question is, why did he shoot? Yeah, that scene always confused me when I was young because I would see multiple versions, and I didn't know that I was seeing multiple versions.
That's
you know,
funny.
I'm like, what just happened?
Like, am I going crazy?
Yeah.
Like he like dodges, like his neck is just like.
Yeah.
So I have always heard that. I mean, I've always saw that. I've never heard anyone else talk about it. I'm so happy you said that.
Yeah, it's so
because
weird.
I always thought it was weird when he's like
Yeah.
he's doing like a dance move.
yeah, he's like, he's good. He's just that good. And the shot is self-defense.
He doesn't have to move like his torso, just his head.
Just his head, yeah.
Yeah, he is not a scoundrel.
No, not
He's
at
an
all.
honorable
He's
person.
not a pirate.
Honorable
Or a
person.
smuggler or a liar.
Yeah, so let's talk about that real quick about his rebel kickstarting money.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's weird.
Han Solo is the angel investor behind the rebellion.
I feel like all
Rebellion, now official, rebellion was funded by Han Solo, who later demanded the rebellion pay him for his services.
They make
He just
these
wanted
things,
his original cut.
They make these things way too intertwined.
Yeah.
Just way too like having the cameo that they had in here.
Yeah.
Like
Warwick Davis.
just wasn't
Yeah,
necessary.
I noticed that.
Dude, the Warwick Davis moment was like almost over the top.
Which-
it reminded me of Stan Lee showing up in the Marvel movies because he took off his mask and he's like,
Here I
I'm
am."
Warwick Davis. And it's like he actually had his real face on the screen and had a speaking line.
Yeah.
Which is cool for him because he's in every Star Wars movie, but you never see him.
I don't know who you're talking about.
He's the little person who originally came in the
Oh, that
Star
guy.
Wars.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
played
yeah.
Willow.
That's right.
He was originally an Ewok, and
Gotcha,
he's
yeah.
been in every Star Wars.
No, the Darth Maul.
That cameo.
Yeah.
A funny moment, right?
I mean, like I geeked out. Like I loved it.
Yeah.
But again, it just doesn't need to be there.
Well, what really didn't need to be there was the dramatic lightsaber igniting. I'm like, who's in the room with him that he's threatening? Who's in the room? Or is it like, yes, audience, I still have a double-sided lightsaber.
And it looks different. So it's going to change later on.
Well, it's funny because when Rogue One was made, what was the name of the director? Was that
Gareth
Edwards? Yeah. He had gone on record as saying, this will be the first Star Wars with no lightsabers.
Oh, right.
And then after his first cut came in, they said, we want to do some reshoots. The biggest addition was Darth Vader hacking up all those guys. And the lightsaber came in anyway. And it was like this joke, like you just can't avoid the lightsaber.
Right. And so this is almost a joke within that.
That's what it felt like. It felt like it was a gag because he's just talking. It's like talking on the phone, right? It's like if I were a gangster and I called you up. You're one of my thugs, and I'm like, "Hey, we're going to rob a bank tonight." Bang, 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 and I just fire a gun in the air over the phone to show you that I have a real gun. Bang, bang, bang. All right.
He's gonna be like obnoxious, like always talking to Darth Maul. He's like, oh god,
Can you stop doing that? Just put it away.
It's
right?
dangerous,
Yeah,
man.
it's like,
Just keep igniting. You're gonna wear out your kyber crystal, man.
yeah.
he's like the guy who's always on the Skype with like playing with his knife.
It's like, what's wrong with you? What I did like about it is that by the way, there was a weird shot kind of like that in this movie where right when you could tell that Paul Bettamy's character, the Crimson Peak guy, whatever they are,
I forgot what they're called.
Crimson Dawn.
That's it.
Yeah.
Crimson Dawn. Crimson Peak.
When at that last scene when you could tell that he was sort of onto them, he hadn't revealed it yet, but you kind of knew it. He went and picked up like his little plate of caviar and this like ridiculously sharp little fork.
That little tiny fork.
And they did like a close up on the fork, and I'm like, oh, dude, that's gonna be his weapon.
Right.
Like it totally felt like they were
did.
foreshadowing he's gonna kill someone with this tiny fork. It was the weirdest shot,
Yeah.
and the fact that it didn't matter makes it weird.
Makes it weirder. Yeah, like there was a
Yeah.
big close up on these like food items.
Yeah.
Really close.
First up, it was like they were going to show him putting poison in it or something.
That's right,
'Cause it's
thought.
like, would you care for some food? Zoom, food,
Poison.
Right.
sharp fork. And he sits down, and I'm like, what's he going to do with that food and fork? This is tense. But nothing
Nothing
at all.
He's gonna eat it.
Some culinary artist put a lot of work into that and was like Ron, you gotta get a close up
Yeah.
of this food that I made.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah, or the prop fork that I made.
Yeah.
But anyways, at the end there, when they revealed that she pulled up this hologram, and they show it from the back, you're like, oh, she's
the
going to
Emperor.
talk to the Emperor. It's a hooded figure. But
Who
then,
sounds quite different.
yeah, he starts talking, and I'm like, oh, they're not using the Emperor voice? That's odd. And
He's just younger. That's all.
and there it is. It's Darth Maul. And he's got his metal legs, which till now had been an animated series only thing. But we had been told by Disney that the most recent animated series is canon. And I believe that's where... No. Darth Maul's into Clone Wars cartoons.
Yeah,
I think so. But I think it was in the recent one as well.
Well, anyway, it's certainly canon now. Darth Maul survived Phantom Menace and had his lower torso replaced with robotic legs. So,
okay.
Yeah.
What's his name in episode 8? It's going to come back with metal legs. There you go.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, Snoke, you're right.
Snoke, yeah.
Why not? It better.
Yeah.
Because when he does,
It'd be awfully stupid if he doesn't now. It's
that means episode 8 did matter.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Snoke. Yeah, his wound isn't any worse than what happened to Darth Maul.
Yeah,
I just
and
think
Darth
about
Maul
it now.
freaking fell down a pit.
Oh no! Oh no!
He fell through like an infinity pit, and here he is.
man.
And yet Snoke is just dead.
Oh no!
We figured it out.
They've really written
I bet
themselves
you.
into a problem.
I would love to be in the room with J.J. Abrams when they're like, yeah, we killed off Snoke. You're gonna have to write something else. And he's like, come on, what? I made Snoke to be the. And they're like, no, Ryan killed him off. He's gone. And now he sees this movie and he's like, what? Darth Maul? He was cut in half like 20 years ago.
That's awesome. That's so awesome.
So yeah, it clearly is like they're setting up for more, and I'll assume as long as this movie makes the $1 billion that Disney hopes it will, that they will make a sequel, and maybe we'll get to see some crazy Darth Maul action again.
Maybe. I'm like, I really, really, really liked after they finished the Kessel Run. I probably would have liked the Kessel Run too, had I been awake.
Yeah, stay awake, man.
I really liked that point on to the end because it felt like it was a story arc within itself, and it didn't have to do with the other Star Wars universe. It was just
Yeah, I get that. It
these
just
guys.
felt long. That's all.
But
the pacing was a little off.
but it felt very unique, so it felt nice. And it's like you were saying with Rogue One, how you're like, it's nice that they had, or you said how they had their own unique story. But of course, it was still tied in with this main thing. And I'm like, I would just like to see Star Wars just within the universe, but have their own just separate story, completely separate from all this other stuff. Just Star Wars universe. Just go make your
that's
unique
what
story.
Ryan Johnson's supposedly doing.
Yeah. Hopefully that's interesting.
With it and Colin Trevorrow is directing a show. Star
Oh,
Wars
right.
show.
a
Yeah.
TV show.
A show.
Yeah,
TV
I
show.
don't know if that's the one that the Game of Thrones guys are involved with or not. It's all very confusing. It's hard to follow. Basically, everyone in Hollywood is developing a new part of the Star Wars universe
I
now.
I just want to see just a regular
We
Star
could
Wars
sign
thing
up for
somewhere by
one.
itself.
If, they're taking
like a waiting list
They
or
take
something?
anyone actually.
Yeah, it's anybody.
They'll just give you a budget and be like, go for it. If we don't like it, we'll just fire you and
just say
start
no.
over.
It just can't be a comedy.
Yeah.
Right, no comedies, yeah.
Oh, what'd you think of the droid in this?
Oh, I loved the droid in this.
I loved her too.
Yeah.
I thought she was really funny.
I
Yeah,
loved
she was
her personality, like toward
Yeah.
talking about revolution for droids.
Yeah.
because that's something that
That
everyone's
whole
thought
sequence
about.
was hilarious. Like I really liked that.
Yeah,
Them liberating that
Yeah.
mine.
yeah,
There were slave Wookiees there.
Yeah.
But also all the droids were like slaves, and so she like tells one to go free your brothers,
Right.
and they start doing it, and she's like just so into it. She's like, "Viva la revolution!" You know.
love that. She's like this oppressed droid, and it's like you never saw that in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
so that was really cool.
Yeah, and I liked her like just berating the crowd of people that are like cheering for the robot fights.
Yeah, droid fight. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
She's just like a super passionate robot.
yeah.
Yeah.
So passionate.
It's
Yeah.
great.
I like that she ends up like implanted in the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, she
Thought that
lives
was kinda
on.
Funny.
Oh, did she?
Yeah,
I didn't
her
see
her
that.
navigate that was in the Kessel Run sequence.
Gotcha.
Her navigation system was transferred into the Millennium Falcon.
That's how they were able to navigate because her map is her brain is a map.
Um,
So So now the Millennium Falcon is her. But it doesn't seem like she kept her sentience.
I liked how they did
Sentience.
the betting stuff.
The
That poker stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where it's like Lando wasn't as cool as you thought he was because he's cheating.
Yeah.
But then he doesn't lose the ship until the very end.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that he's as much as he's a scoundrel too.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can totally see that being like a series.
I could see a Lando series coming out of this.
They really got Lando and Han's relationship well done.
Pretty perfect. Yeah.
Where it's like they remembered that Han and Lando kind of aren't, they betray each other.
They're like
Yeah.
frenemies.
You know, yeah, they're like
it actually,
frenemies.
it totally makes sense that the next time they see each other on Cloud City,
Yeah.
Lando would be like, "You have a lot of nerve coming here."
Right.
Yeah.
And they laugh, and then they hug, and then they betray each other. Like, makes sense.
Yeah,
Totally
yeah.
makes sense.
Which is cool.
Yeah. I love that Lando still is hanging on to that weird helmet thing that
Yeah.
That was so
that
weird
Woody
that they had that in.
Harrelson was wearing in this one.
Yeah.
He just kept it as a souvenir. Well, it's been on the Millennium Falcon for like 40 years.
Maybe it'll be useful
Yeah.
in the 6th film.
Yeah,
In the sixth
when I go, it's what you wear when you spring people out of captivity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's ceremonial.
Why didn't Han Solo, when he came out of Carbonite, look at Lando and be like, "Hey, you wearing that? I remember that.
That's still around?
I remember that mask. Good old what's his name, who I killed.
Oh. That's actually bringing up bad memories.
What's his name wore that? Oh, what happened to him? I shot him.
In Cold Blood.
Yeah, I shot first." It was funny because he goes and cradles him while he's dying. Like,
Yeah.
he's like they have a connection.
I like that.
Because they are very much the same person.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm living your life that you just lived, and so in that way we're brothers. But at the same time, you know that you were just about to kill me, and you completely respect that I had to kill you, right?
Yeah. I love
Like,
that. I loved that trade off. That was great.
Yeah, it wasn't like I hate you for shooting me. It was like, well, yep.
Yup.
I really liked how Amelia Clark said, she's like, I know what you really are. You're the good guy. And then Han is like, no, I'm a bad guy.
Yeah,
I'm
but
bad.
she's the bad guy.
Right, yeah. But the idea that I like that they can see that Han is
He is
a good
the good
guy,
guy.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, he may be this scoundrel kind of guy,
Yeah.
but he has like a heart of gold.
Yeah. Was
Yeah.
it hard for you to buy into the fact that this like really badass freedom fighter, marauder person was like a 14-year-old girl?
Yeah, I thought that was kind of on the nose.
like when the way they were taking off her mask, you could tell. I was like, so obvious. This is going to be a reveal
Right,
that it's a
yeah.
woman.
Right.
But the fact that it was like a very young woman was a bit disorienting. I don't know, it was meant to be, but I'm like, where'd you get that kind of fighting skills?
Maybe. I don't know. To me, I didn't see her as
She
a.
was raised in the pits of some like fighting slave thing. I don't know.
I
but
thought
she-
it was just. It was a reveal for reveal's sake, is what it felt
yeah,
like.
because I kept
Right.
thinking, like when it happened, I was like, "Who is this? Who is this? Is this someone from?"
I thought they were trying to say
other
that she
movies?"
was like the
daughter or
the
something?
offspring.
Yeah,
That's what I
of the
thought.
two of them,
Yeah.
because she kind of looked like a mix between Woody Harrelson and Thandie Newton.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
if those two had a kid, I kind of thought, yeah, dude, look at it. She looked like that.
Yeah, but the reveal was just that she was a young woman,
Right.
and
Yeah.
like, what's the point of?
And then they
revealing
shifted
that?
very quickly from that to we're not marauders, we're freedom
Yeah,
fighters. You know,
but they were
Yeah.
clearly pretty. I don't know.
I mean, well,
Maybe
yeah,
not.
they were trying to kill
yeah,
the other guys. So
yeah,
I like that in their plan to double cross. They took an old woman from the desert and put her in
like this, like
in the
really.
put her in the
high
line
tense.
of fire.
Right.
I'm like, you're really expecting this to go one specific way. I'm like, they're just gonna cut off this old woman's head or something. They pulled off. They're like, oh, I'm not who you thought.
Boom. Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't they just?
They this whole part with where they're on that. What is this place, by the way?
The planet?
Yeah.
Tatooine,
No, it's not.
Jakku.
Jakku.
It's a new planet.
It's a
that is
new
pretty much
desert
nowhere.
planet.
It's just a random. It's a place where you rendezvous with bad guys.
Well,
Yeah.
during this place, the was it just me or like was everyone like under a tent and sitting down? Like there was one
Well-
person wiping.
okay, they said that was a village
Yeah.
that was ransacked and destroyed by the Crimson Dawn,
Right.
And that all their tongues were cut out.
Oh,
couldn't
that
talk.
was those people.
Yeah,
That makes a lot more sense now.
yeah. It was subtle. They didn't really spend. They really blew over that fact pretty fast. But
Gotcha. I thought it was just kind of funny that everyone was sitting.
yeah,
There was not one person.
because they spoke up. They were speaking against their oppressors.
Yeah.
So their tongues were removed. You can't talk without a tongue.
Why does
in
Kira
the-
work for the dark side?
Even in a future fantasy world where you can be cut in half and put back together again, you can't talk without a tongue.
Robot tongue.
Yeah, Kyra has that guy's ring, so she can fly that ship now.
Yeah.
That's you just need that ring.
They'll do they'll do something with her.
Maybe she'll grow up to
Something.
be
Leia.
Leia.
Maybe. Maybe she'll grow up to be Luke's sister.
You're
She will.
beating up Dee's camera.
That's all right. No one looks at D.
It's fine.
That spaceship was very poorly designed for space travel. It would just be torn to pieces coming through atmosphere. Just saying.
Just saying.
As soon as I saw that, they called it a pleasure yacht thing. It looked awesome.
Yeah,
I
it did
loved
look cool. Yeah.
It was like a flying skyscraper.
Flying hotel. Yeah.
And I'm like, that'd be cool in outer space. But you're not going to land that thing on a planet. It'll be ripped to shreds. You'll never get back out again either. It's ridiculous. Come on.
That's probably the,
Come
yeah,
on.
Yeah. That's
And
probably
when-
the thing I had the most problem with.
I certainly did. And where'd the gravity come from on the Millennium Falcon?
Jeez.
Yeah, exactly. G's. How many G's?
None, apparently.
G's.
None Gs.
Exactly.
You know, actually, this is canon. This is actually canon because there's a they have gravity in the Millennium Falcon because they have a black hole in the bottom of the ship.
In the ship.
Mm-hmm.
This is canon?
Just right now, it's canon.
Okay, right. Yeah. Yeah, well, maybe that reactor core, maybe it has some super dense material that creates its own gravitational pull for the ship alone
Sure.
that is equal to 1 Earth G.
Yes.
Yeah.
But why did Kira, that's her name, right?
Uh-huh.
Um,
I always thought it was Kylo.
Kylo,
Kira
Ren. So when
Leia.
so when Kira looks back at she says something to Solo, and then he walks away, and then she looks back at the desk, and there's like these crystals on the desk.
Yeah.
What was that about?
Oh, well, she had just said, you go ahead. We're going to need a way to pay for that spaceship we're going to get.
Oh.
You know, we're going to get a spaceship for us to go fly away together. And
And that's
just,
like the money or
and,
something.
yeah, so I'm going to stay here and collect up these jewels.
I like how that was. She's like, "Go on, I'm right behind you."
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
be right there.
Like that makes no
and
sense.
he's like, yeah.
Makes zero sense.
And then
She's,
he just leaves
yeah.
and doesn't care.
No, it's a total dude move because he knew at a deep moment, he knew deep down that she was breaking up with him right then,
Oh,
but he didn't
yeah.
want to believe it.
Yeah.
And so he said, yeah, I'll do exactly what you say and believe that it's what I should be doing.
Is that
I'll
what
just walk away.
Ron Howard told him to act this way?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what happened?
I don't know. I don't know if Ron's never been dumped. That dude's a dude. He's all,
Kenny knows his men, so
yeah. I've been told I look like a Ron Howard when I wear
A. Ron Howard.
yeah. Are you Ron Howard?
a version of Ron Howard.
Are you a Ron Howard?
I'm a Ron Howard, yes. Not the Ron
The
Howard.
mohawk
but
gives it away.
A Ron Howard. No, I wear a baseball cap. Only when I wear a baseball cap. And I look like a Ron Howard. He's sort of like a Ron Hubbard.
Aaron. Aaron Howard.
A Ron Hubbard. A Ron Howard. Why not? Anyway, they did an awkward shot on those jewels to show that she was not going for the jewels.
Yeah, that
she was
was-
going for the ring.
Oh. Was the ring in that shot?
No. It was like, look, jewels. She's not picking them up because she actually doesn't care about the jewels. She's going for a power grab.
It's so funny that so
And
much of
she's
this
like,
can work.
Darth Maul. Paging Darth Maul. Computer. Please call Darth Maul.
Load up Maul.
Siri, call Darth Maul. Carling
the Emperor.
Dartham. Carling Dartham. I have no listing for Dartham. Darth Maul. Oh, forget it. Hello, Darth Maul.
I think we're done talking about the movie.
Amelia, how are you doing? I am Skyra. My name's actually Kyra. Amelia is my actress name.
I wish this movie was better. It was good.
It sucked.
I wish it was great. I'm waiting for another great Star Wars film, and I haven't.
It's not gonna happen.
I want one.
It won't happen. It won't happen.
See, at this point, like I'm, like about a couple months ago, I was at an all-time low, an all-time Star Wars.
You were talking about you
depression
miss
low.
Star Wars.
Yeah, where it was like, I was like, man, Star Wars it's over. There's just no going back. It's done. And now I've reached a point where I expected this to be horrible, and it was pretty good, and I'm all right with that. And I do wish it was better, and I wish it wasn't a Han Solo movie in the first place. I wish it was just something original. But now I've reached a point where I just don't care about what future Star Wars movies are going to be at all. Like, I just don't care at all what any future Star Wars movie is going to be.
Yeah, I just kind of wish it wasn't happening.
Yeah.
That's kind of, yeah.
It's funny how often your critique of a movie is that you wish it were just a different movie.
Yeah.
You did this in our short film roundup the other day. You're like, my main criticism is that it was this movie. I really would have preferred something else.
I don't like cliches. I don't like cliches.
Yeah, well, that is what Star Wars is now.
Yeah.
It is like
I don't know.
it's a meme of itself.
Say we were to
Yeah.
go in 200 years in the future, would we still cliches would be what movies are made of after that time, right? Just things are repeated over and over and over because everything's derivative, so you can't ever avoid cliches completely.
I think you can get pretty far away from them, though.
In your definition of a film, I suppose, yeah.
Even outside, I'm talking like You Were Never Really Here is not a cliched film.
Yeah.
And Thoroughbreds is not a cliched
But those are both art house pieces.
Right. But they're movies.
Annihilation didn't feel very cliche.
No,
The
it's
second act
cliched.
is cliched.
What?
Second act is cliched.
The whole movie's cliched.
The end is not cliche.
It's been done.
Actually, I'd say
end has been done.
the beginning and end. The middle, yes, we've seen 100 times.
I would say Jumanji was like, the second one was like super cliched, but super well done. And it wouldn't have been better if it wasn't cliched. But we've already had this discussion. Let's not talk about it further. This was in our Star Wars episode.
No, this
8,
was in our Pacific Rim episode. Was when we
yeah,
talked all about cliches.
We did talk about
in
cliches, yeah. In fact, that's even called cliche.
Mm-hmm.
The thumbnail says
You
cliche.
can look it up and watch it. It's funny. It's a good one.
Funny.
It's actually one of our more boring episodes.
I don't remember anything I said in that
That's actually
episode.
one of my least favorite episodes, but we do have a funny opening segment.
Oh, yeah.
We opened with a skit.
Yeah, that was kind of fun.
Took like 4 takes. Anyway,
Laurel.
it made us decide no more skits.
Or music videos.
I thought that it would have. I like rewriting scenes to make them better, and I think all of us thought that when the officer stop making so much noise, when the recruiting officer assigned Han Solo his last name, because he travels alone and he's just kind of a loner, that it was a little lame, right?
That was terrible, yeah.
So I thought he should have said, we need a last name. And he goes, I always travel alone. I'd be like, okay, you're Han Loner.
That would have been a Phil Lord and
It would have been better. He'd be Han Loner.
But the best way is if his given born name was Han Solo.
So he's like, what's your first name? Han. Last name? Solo.
Yeah.
You've been like...
Great. It's exactly what I always thought it was this entire time. It was just his name. Why does his name have to have some crazy origin?
Why do we gotta have fun with movies?
No. It's not fun.
But this way you can reveal later, since his name actually isn't Solo, later we could find out that his last name is Skywalker.
Oh, God.
Just wait.
God.
You don't know. Didn't you see they set up a who's his parents whole thing?
Stop.
Who are Han
Oh.
Solo's
Stop.
parents?
Stop.
His last name is Sidious.
Stop it.
Ben. Ben.
His last name is Ben.
Ben Skywalker.
His last name's Kenobi.
Han Ben. His name is Han Ben.
Han Ben. Han Ben.
D, you asked me the other day. You're like, what is the most useless fact that you know?
I remember
And
this.
I can answer that question now. And my answer to that
Han
question
Solo.
is how Han Solo got his name.
All right. It's a pretty useless fact, yeah.
Yeah. And it took up 30 seconds of this movie. 30 seconds of my life wasted.
Fine. All right.
I'd say Winchester was probably
That was a waste too. All of Winchester was a waste.
the trip to Winchester and then back to Del Taco.
Yeah, the meal after Winchester. Everything associated with that movie was a waste of life.
Why live?
Why live?
Why live?
I don't know.
I like the bit where he turns sideways to fit through a narrow alleyway and gets stuck.
Yeah, I
That
thought
was
that
funny.
was fun.
That also might have been a Lord and Miller gag, but it was
That felt
clever.
like it.
I liked it.
Yeah.
It's like, what if this didn't work? And it just slowly grinds to
Yeah, I actually was
Well,
like,
we gotta
when-
get out.
When he first got into it, I was like, oh, he's just gonna make it.
Bro, of course, that's what always happens. But that was still when I was in the phase of this is a horrible, horrible movie.
Right.
I'm actually surprised that it redeemed itself so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I was able to forgive such an atrocious beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, it was painful
It was really
to
bad.
watch that opening sequence. And it's funny because all the reviews that I've read have essentially said the same thing. They all sort of say, it started off a little rocky, but eventually it was great, you know?
Yeah. Little Rocky is an understatement.
So, how about that controversial shower scene?
It's pretty hot.
Han and Chewbacca.
Oh, was that in the
They took a
part
shower together.
Yeah.
Naked.
Naked.
Yeah. Shower scene in Star Wars. Were they on a ship, is what I'm asking. It looked like they were on a ship, right?
They were on a ship, yeah.
Gravity, once again. You can't take a shower.
Pretty sure we're way beyond physics at this point.
When they're standing
We have
on
like
that,
9 other movies that
when they're
talk about
standing
this.
on that exterior balcony thing of that ship while it's flying over like an ice planet, unless that ship's only going about 8 miles an hour, there's no way they're having a conversation.
There's no way Star Wars works with any
Shouldn't
of
a
these
laser
rules.
sword just go on forever, D? Shouldn't it just go on forever?
No, they
How
have a
about the
thing in it.
Force? Have you ever thought about this thing called the Force?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that wouldn't work in real life.
I don't. Yeah.
I don't like that. It's stupid.
It's just not realistic.
It's not realistic, right? Yeah, films have to be realistic to
Or
be
at the very
interesting.
least, it's mislabeled
Yeah.
because force is not really the right type of word to be associated with the force.
Yeah,
is
it's
it?
too aggressive.
Yeah.
It should really be more like feel.
Yeah. See a D.
Bye, D.
Anyway, we
Yeah,
lost
so-
D. Let's go.
So what
let's,
should the force be?
I would call it maybe the strength.
Strength?
Or that might be too aggressive.
That is too aggressive.
All right,
There's too much male energy in that.
I hear you. The goddess, the goddess, the goddess inside,
The goddess within.
the goddess within.
I like it.
That's exactly. We should make a director's cut
From now on.
where Yoda teaches
Who's
Luke
the goddess within, Luke?
the goddess within. And Yoda's like, you must feel the goddess within flow within you.
Whoa, that's redundant, Yoda.
I agree. This is good. It's been
Yeah.
a good use of our time.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
I miss D.
I miss D too. Should we invite him back?
Yeah.
Hey, D, come back.
Boom!
Nicely done. Did you use the goddess within?
I did.
Nice. May the goddess within be with you. All right.
We fixed Star Wars.
We fixed it once and for all. We got gravity down. Laser swords now go on forever.
That's what you change it to, that it goes on forever. So when Darth Maul...
Episode 4. No, episode 4 is like way easier now. You just go...
You're taking down like battleships. You mow down an entire army of droids. Lightsaber.
What you do is you'd hold the lightsaber out and you just go like... It's a laser gun.
I just saw everyone. You're like cut your planet in half.
Oh my god.
Oh shoot, what have I done?
Starkiller base. More like...
You're like, there's a Death Star. Lightsaber.
That's no moon. Oh, let me take care of that.
It's like you're playing pool. Just sort of like that. Like when I poked that hole in your Coca-Cola.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I did that with a lightsaber.
It killed me.
And he died.
Every movie that we go see makes me hate Jurassic World even more.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they keep showing those
Stop
trailers.
showing the trailer and this trailer's so bad. Like, I hate the first trailer because we've seen it 1,000 times. Like, every time I see that record player start playing that song and then Chris Pratt tells Bryce Dallas Howard that she loves a dummy.
You love a dummy.
I'm just like, oh, here we go again. But the new trailer, it's
a buddy cop movie.
It's a buddy cop, and the buddy is Blue,
It's
the
the
raptor,
dinosaur, yeah.
the velociraptor. Come on, Blue, let's do this.
You know what
Come
I
on,
like?
Blue, let's do that. And I'm like,
You know what I like
this
about that
is
part?
the opposite of what this franchise is about.
You know, they talk about how Blue's the last of his kind, and he's like, I gotta go save him. And they go over there, and they're like, They also reveal that this other raptor is the most dangerous dinosaur ever
Yeah.
made, or something like that. I'm like, why would you need to continue Blue's lineage if you don't want dinosaurs to be around anymore?
Sounds like a plot hole.
What are they going to do in the
Sounds
next
dumb.
Jurassic Park movie?
The next one,
Yeah.
they'll be like in space.
Jurassic Space.
Jurassic
Jurassic
Universe.
Solar System.
Jurassic Universe.
Jurassic Galactic.
Whoa.
But anyway,
Coca?
yeah, that whole Chris Pratt Blue angle. Jurassic Park is supposed to be about how...
Are we talking about Jurassic World?
Yeah, we are. I gotta say this. I gotta have my piece. Jurassic Park is about how nature cannot be controlled.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. And that by trying to be God,
Right.
it will destroy you. It'll fight back and kill you. And he's got a tame dinosaur. If that plays out that way and Blue remains his friend throughout the whole movie, I give up on Jurassic World. I'm done.
He'll
I
probably
quit.
have to let him go.
No, he has to kill
like, "Let's go."
Chris Pratt.
Just get out of here.
He has to bite off Chris Pratt's hand at the very least.
I think that'll happen.
It better happen.
I don't think
There's got to be consequences.
He won't
here.
die though.
That's fine.
Chris Pratt can't
He can
die.
come back
Chris
with a
Pratt's
hook.
immortal.
Come back with a hook in the third movie.
In the third movie, gosh,
There will be a third.
I don't
movie.
want any more sequels.
Which
Let's
is the
just stop.
6th movie.
Let's watch Dune.
Yeah. Denis Villeneuve is doing
But-
2 Dunes.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
In the meantime, we could watch David Lynch's Dune.
Ooh.
No,
It's not good.
No, it's not
It's
very
really weird,
It's okay,
but not
it's-
quite
it's,
weird enough to be good.
No.
You know what I mean?
It's a weird. It is a weird movie.
Dune has like some of the best world building. Like that world is phenomenal. It is awesome.
you know what doesn't have good world building?
Solo?
Yeah,
I thought it was quite good.
actually no, it did. It was pretty
Yeah.
good.
I'm sorry, I hit the mic. What didn't have good world building?
Solo, but Solo actually did.
Oh,
Yeah, I was just trying to steer the conversation back to our main topic here.
Game of Thrones
Game of Thrones.
had terrible world building. Let's talk about Game of Thrones.
No.
Final season coming up.
What about that trailer for that military movie with the
That was
praying?
terrible. That was so
Oh
bad.
my gosh. When that okay, so in case you have a different experience when you see Solo,
'Cause you will.
in our screening there was a trailer for a very Christian-oriented movie about a military chaplain. And it did not at all seem like the type of movie that premieres a trailer in front of a Star Wars movie.
No.
Which
yeah,
made
they must
me,
have like spent a lot of money.
I know. So movies like that, trailers like that show up in front of B-level movies.
Right.
Because of the expense, almost always.
Right.
So when I saw that, I was like, this is a bad sign. This is going to be a terrible movie. This is going to be so bad. But it was pretty good.
But it was pretty good.
It was pretty
The
good.
trailer?
The trailer?
No.
Solo?
Solo.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It was a bad sign. It meant that Solo was not going to be good.
That's funny.
If I see trailers for like B and C level movies, then I know that the movie is probably going to be B and C level.
Yeah.
You know what it was is they spent their entire marketing budget on putting trailers in.
In front of Solo?
Yeah.
They're like, Solo's the one.
Yeah.
So, if this was pizza, I would say that it was heat lamp pizza that was actually fresh. Like, they just put it underneath.
Right.
You eat it and you're like, this is going to be bad. And you go, oh no, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Surprise pizza.
Yeah.
Surprised but good.
Yeah, right. In the good direction.
It's still, it's not the best. But it's definitely better than bad.
I'd say it was like you have your favorite pizza shop that you go to your whole life, right?
Here we go again.
These narratives.
All right. Go on.
Favorite pizza place.
And you go there for like your childhood and you're like an adult now and you haven't been there maybe in a year and you go back and they changed all the ingredients but they still claim it's the same thing, and then you're like kind of you're like conditioned to enjoy it through nostalgia and nostalgia, and then the cook brings out his pizza and he brings it to you, but he like spits in it. He like spits right in the pizza, right?
Like in front of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you eat it anyway, and you kind of like it.
You know, these analogies are stop being analogies. I think 3 episodes ago.
He spits on it and you kind of like it. Like you have this weird pizza fetish thing where you're like, hey, can you spit on my pizza again? I liked it. Okay. No. Here's what it's actually like.
Oh,
do tell.
My turn.
That's good.
So, you call your pizza place and you're like, hey, it's been a while. I'd really love this particular type of pizza. Now, we'll call it something easy to recognize like combo, the combination pizza with everything, right? It's been a while. I'd like one of those. And they're like, you got it. We got this great new pizza making duo. These 2 young pizza makers we just brought in. They're fantastic. They're so great. Everyone loves them. And I'm like, oh, well, that sounds good. All right. And so then a whole half hour goes by. And I call them. I'm like, hey, is my pizza ready? And they're like, let me go check. And then they go, oh crap, we just checked on these new guys and they put rubber chicken on your pizza and like they've made it out of like felt and leather instead of like food. It's just wrong. So I fired them and I brought in the neighborhood pizza guy to make your pizza. And so in the end, it took a long time and I was very worried, but it was still good.
I hate when that happens.
That's the analogy that we're sticking with.
And you could take that to the bank.
I don't know if I can. Not sure if I can.
Can I cash that?
Yeah. Who wants pizza? I don't trust pizza anymore. People are like, you want pizza? I'm like, what kind of pizza? What do you mean?
Han Solo pizza? Or do you mean
when you say pizza?
Death Wish pizza?
Like Death Wish pizza? Or?
Thor Ragnarok?
You know, Taylor was eating pizza earlier today, and we tried to compare it to a movie.
I couldn't do it.
We're messed up. We're just messed up, man.
I couldn't think of the movie that
the pizza was like. You're like, tastes like Thor Ragnarok.
You know what? That pizza I had was like Iron Man 1.
That good?
Yeah, it was good.
Wow.
Yeah,
Iron Man 1 good.
yeah.
Jeff Bridges with a shaved head good.
Yes.
Dang. He looked kind of rad with that shaved head.
He rode a Segway in that movie.
He did. And a mech suit.
Iron Man.
He also fought in a mech suit.
Iron Man ate Burger King in that movie.
Oh, you're right.
Product
yeah.
placement.
He said an American cheeseburger and then had Burger King. What does that say?
That's pushing corporate agendas.
Yep. I think we finished this episode like 20 minutes ago.
20 minutes.
Are we still even rolling?
Are we rolling?
Let's keep going.
Oh, I forgot to press record.
Start over.
Let's start over.
So we saw this film today called Solo.
Han Solo, the movie.
How
That's what
was
it's
it,
called?
What'd you think of
Han
it?
Solo, the movie.
It was
That good, huh? Should we compare it to like pasta or something? If Han Solo was soup, it would have been spicy.
I think you're just making stuff up now. What did you think of Solo? Since we're starting over.
The whole movie?
Yeah.
I liked it. I enjoyed myself at the cinema today.
Cool.
And would recommend it to my friends.
Cool. Yeah, I thought it was a good time at the Cinemaplex.
Yeah.
Seeing Han Solo, a Star Wars story.
We're getting really weird now.
doing cinematic shots. Oh, Jesus. Oh, kidding.
Can I be in 3D?
Yeah, you should quickly cut in between all of these.
D!
We'll see you at the
D!
talkies.
Taylor! Kenny! Where's everybody?
Oh, I kind of like this shot. It's an artistic shot right here. It's intended, though, so it's fine.
Are we
Exactly.
struggling to find a way to end this one?
I'm pretty
Is
sure
that
it's
the problem? Is the boom in the shot?
That looks cool.
Hello? Hi. Hi there. Oh, hello there. Iris out.
Okay, bye.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on a new episode of The Talkies. If you make it through more than 35 minutes of any episode, we will send you a pizza. Thanks. I'm Kenny.
It's not true.
D's not rolling. D, go.
I'm D.
I'm Taylor.
And we'll see you at the next Han Solo screening. No, we can't with Movie Pass. Only once.
Oh, dang.
At some other movie. I don't know. There's nothing.
Deadpool 3.
Cheers.